is here. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. So today I am actually going to do a challenge. I'm challenging myself. Okay, people? I am challenging myself. And the challenge that I've given myself is Dried Out PlayDoh challenge, right? So anyone who's ever used Play-Doh knows that if you leave it out overnight, you now have a problem. It's now going to be dry and not so malleable. So what I am trying to do is see if I can make it malleable again after being out overnight. Okay? All right, so let's roll. Okay. Like I said, today this is the last Saturday Science of 2020 for obvious reasons, because, yeah. Um, you know, as much as I care about y'all, I'm taking next Saturday off. Okay. And then I've got some other fun things coming up on Facebook. Okay, there's going to be at least one more live that happens, but it's only going to be on Facebook. Mm. So if you're not following Triple F Empowerment Inc. on Facebook, I don't know what to tell you. It is going to be kid friendly, people. It is going to be kid friendly. So yeah, if you're on Facebook now, just give me a shout so that I know that you can hear me. Okay, cool. So the case of the dried out Play-Doh, that's what we are going to apply our engineering knowledge to today. Okay? To prove to you that the Play-Doh has been dried out, okay, I'm going to do a quick little comparison before I talk about how I'm going to attempt to manage that dried out Play-Doh situation, because no one wants to deal with dried out Play-Doh. Okay? You have Play-Doh. It's out. And it's now no longer Play-Doh. It doesn't do anything anymore, right? That's the problem. Okay? So, as you all know, we're scientists, so we have to have a standard. We have to be able to have something to compare it to. This is nice. You saw me. I just opened up this brand new can of Play-Doh, right? Right? Nice, fresh, squishy Play-Doh. Okay? Nice, fresh, squishy Play-Doh. See? Do you see it? Squishy Play-Doh. That's what we want Play-Doh to be. Nice, fun. I can move it around, roll it, and I can make it into different things. Now, let's compare that to our test samples. Okay, that's our nice, fun, pretty, squishy Play-Doh. I'm going to take that, put it nicely covered. Hello, because we know that that's the main thing that keeps Play-Doh nice and fresh is when it's covered. Putting that to the side. Now, I have count them, three test samples. I have 3 pieces of Play-Doh that I purposefully have left out. Y'all see that Play-Doh? And, you see that? That's not fun to play with no more. It doesn't feel soft. I mean, it's kind of soft because it's only been 24 hours, okay? But it's not like the best, okay? So my job is to attempt to fix that. Okay? So we together are going to embark upon an engineering adventure. All right? Let's find out if adding shaving cream to it, or baby oil to it, or water to it is the best way to turn it back into its proper, regular, malleable, and soft and non-cracky state, right? Because you see how this piece is cracked. I squeezed it, and now it's a cracked situation. Y'all see that? You should be able to see it. Okay? Yeah? It's like it's cracked. That's not what it's supposed to do, right? So now let's do some testing, okay? This may or may not take a long time today. I don't know. Okay, we might be on for like 5 more minutes. We might be on for another two. I don't know. Okay, but let's go ahead and go through our process, right? I said we're going to test 3 different substances to see if we can reverse this crickly, crackly, whatever Play-Doh situation. So each sample is now going to go inside of its own separate cup, its own separate reaction vessel. Okay? So let's go ahead and label like we always do, because if we don't label, we're not sure what everything is. Because hello, these, both the water and the baby oil are clear substances. So, okay. So this sample is going to be our baby oil sample. Okay. This is our shaving cream. Okay. And this is our just plain old H2O. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Good afternoon, folks. I'm Miss Steph, and every Saturday ish, okay, um, I would venture to say like 48 of the 52 Saturdays that we've gotten a year, I am going live, okay? Yeah. So welcome to Saturday Science with Miss Steph. I am the founder and executive director of Triple F Empowerment Inc. We've got a lot going on as we come into the end of the year, nonprofit and all that, whatnot, yada, yada, yada. Talk more about that at the end. Okay? But for today's activity, we're using some engineering and some scientific principles, right, to attempt to solve a problem. Okay? Engineering, when we're engineers, we start with an issue. And my issue is that someone left out Play-Doh overnight. And now that Play-Doh needs to be fixed because right now it's crickly crackly and it does not do what I want it to do, right? It's not functioning the way that Play-Doh functions. I showed y'all the squishy, nice, beautiful, wonderful, soft Play-Doh, right? Straight out of the canister. I showed y'all that. But our problem is that that's not what's happening now because this was left out. So inside of each container, I'm going to put just a little bit of something that I suspect might help the Play-Doh return to something closer to its malleable state. Okay, so one of the reasons I'm using oil is because I know that oil is a component of Play-Doh. I know that oil is inside of Play-Doh. Okay, and I know that oil sometimes can help things kind of become slippery and this and that. Okay, let me fix, because over here, there we go. Okay, this is what happens when you get an autofocus camera. Sometimes it doesn't, it like is blurry. Okay, so I had to just fix that just now. Um, but yeah, so we've got right here my different samples. So my first thing that I'm going to try is just a little bit of baby oil. Not a lot. Not a lot. Okay, so that's what I've got going on there. Y'all see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Okay, that's what I've got going on here. Just like you see how it's like just enough, not even to cover, but just okay, so it's not in there, so it's not lonely in there. Okay. Next, shaving cream. Now, you must be like, she, what? Shaving cream is basically puffy soap. Okay, it has soap. It's got some oil in it. It's got water content. All those things that are inside of Play-Doh already, and we know that water, right, typically would soften things. And so, guess what? I'm going to try and add a little bit of shaving cream. Now, again, not a lot, just a little bit. What? Hey, Bobas, hello. Okay, so when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. I don't mean like, yeah. No, y'all. Okay? And again, this may sound kooky, but we have all had an issue. We have all left out Play-Doh at least one time, ha, I say in our lifetimes. Okay? And we have all said to ourselves, wouldn't it be nice if I could fix that? So, your goofy science teacher, me, okay, is testing out some possible solutions on your behalf. Okay? And whatever solution works, you can go and tell your adult family member, okay, that it works, right? Okay? And so they won't be so upset with you for leaving the Play-Doh out. Okay? So anyways, and like I said, I'm only adding a little bit of each of the substances. Okay? Y'all hear that? Y'all hear how, like, Play-Doh ain't supposed to do that. And yes, I said ain't. And I said on purpose. It's not supposed to do that. It's terrible. That is not behaving like Play-Doh. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of water. Just a little bit. Just a little bit to see if maybe some simple hydration. I mean, water helps us, doesn't it? So maybe all our little poor little piece of Play-Doh needs is just a little water. It's a possibility. Okay? So inside of here, I've added some water to this cup, to this sample, to this sample. I've added some shaving cream. Yes, shaving cream. It sounds kooky, but trust me. Okay? And to this sample, I've added some oil, some baby oil. Nothing really fancy, just baby oil. Okay? And my objective, for those of you who are just now joining me, is to reverse the damage done by somebody. I wonder where we could find her. By somebody leaving the Play-Doh out and letting it get dry. So, all I'm going to do is nothing fancy. After getting into the sample. Okay, all I'm going to do is to just kind of press it a little bit. I'm trying to mix it a little bit. And I do have paper towel next to me. So if, okay. So I'm going to kind of start to squish it up a little bit and see if maybe, just a little hydration will help it. Okay, so right now this is what it looks like. It's starting to get kind of sticky almost. Okay. Yeah. But let's see if I can like salvage this. Maybe all it needs, like I said, is a sip of water. It's improving. It's improving. It's improving. But what I can tell you from my tactile observations, from observing it with my hands, is that the inside part is softening, but it still kind of has some of the lumpy bumps that were like on the outside, like the crust. The crust is just kind of basically getting mixed inside. It didn't break down that crusty layer. All it did is just help the crusty layer kind of mix inside with the rest of the Play-Doh. Which, as we all know, is not necessarily enjoyable, right? Because we want our Play-Doh goop to be nice and soft and smooth. And so what I've basically created is Play-Doh that's a mix of lumps and softness. So does that, is that a real, true, genuine solution to our issue? You tell me. I'm going to put this back, and there's some water still in there, but I'm going to put it in there. Okay. Now let's grab the one that's got the shaving cream. Okay. So the shaving cream, as we know, is probably going to, as you can imagine, right? It's going to be messy. I'm about to get shaving cream all over my hands. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't care. Such is life, okay? And it's shaving cream. It'll come off, okay? So I'm taking this and squishing this, okay? And you see shaving cream. And remember, one of the reasons I'm using shaving cream is because of the different components. Shaving cream, pick it up if you want to, okay? But shaving cream has a lot of different things in it. It's got oil, it has water, it's got air mixed into it and everything. Hello, if I didn't have stuff on my hands, I would wave at you. Thank you so much for joining me, okay? But yeah, so we've got this stuff here, okay? Once again, today's objective is to fix an issue, to fix an age-old issue. The case, right? The case of the dried out Play-Doh. All right? Old Play-Doh. Well, old Play-Doh is a little different, okay? But the case of the dried out Play-Doh. Can I fix it? Can I use my science to reverse what has occurred with a piece of Play-Doh being left out? Can I make it go back to being 100% malleable, 100% back to what it used to be? Okay, and this particular sample, with this sample, I'm using some shaving cream. So first of all, you're noticing that I am, similar to our last sample, I am able to get it to like squish and all that type of stuff. But truth be told, it still feels like all I did was mix the crust, the crusty outside, in with the, with the softer kind of semi malleable like inside. Yeah, I know, right? I am. Hi. So yeah, so I'm just mixing it. Let me see if I can get this question. Oh, hi! Thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to join me anytime and ask questions and request activities too, okay? Y'all, I had such an honor and like blessing to be at an event on Wednesday, and I've got some new friends that are joining me now because of the event on Wednesday. So I don't want to say anybody's handles wrong, and so that's why I'm not like calling them out by name. But hello, and thank you so much for joining me. Yeah. So love it. And what y'all may not have known, so let me give my spiel, okay? And just a reminder to everybody, and it doesn't matter what age you are. I'm welcoming scientists from age 3 all the way on up, right? And so what we do on Saturday is I come on and I pick something goofy to do, something that's fun for me to do, and I share it with you live. And what you get to do is, if you want to, you can request activities. All right. So the elephant toothpaste, I've done it before, but it's a pretty common one, and I have several different ways to do it. So if you want another version of that released, I can do that too. Okay. And so yeah. So today I'm trying to fix this issue. Okay. I'm trying to use my science knowledge to engineer a solution to the issue of having dried out Play-Doh. Somebody, I wonder where she's at, left it out overnight, actually over 24 hours, because I left this out like yesterday morning. Okay, so this is our shaving cream sample. Okay, we'll talk about all the samples towards the end. Cool. So now I've got this baby oil one. Okay, and a lot of times you may see different presenters talk about how like oil is moisturizing, but oil is not moisturizing. Oil can be softening, and oil can like hold in moisture, okay, but it's not moisturizing itself, because moisture means water. Oil and water are two different kinds of chemicals, okay? They can complement each other, but they also kind of repel each other a little bit, and we can use the properties that they have together in substances if we have a special third substance that helps them kind of play together. All right. So that being said, this is the piece where I sprinkled some spritz some oil on top of it. Okay, and technically it's baby oil. So now you see I'm squeezing it. Okay, let's bring it up close. All right, my ring light is kind of giving this like washed out kind of situation today. All right, so let's bring it up close. Okay. So again, I'm squeezing this. So I can squeeze this and get to the inner part that's still soft. Okay, and you see how it's coming out. What is that exactly? So it's Play-Doh. I left Play-Doh out on purpose to see if I could reverse it. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, but I put baby oil on it to see if I could fix that. All right, and what's happening right now is all I'm doing is squeezing it, and it's just kind of making it worse. The baby oil, I know, it's like crazy. The baby oil is just not making it better. The baby oil is actually the worst option. You see how that is really just, yeah, I have no words. If y'all have words to help me describe this, like put them in the chat, okay? Yeah, so I have a great question over here on Instagram. So I love questions, by the way, so feel free to just ask questions, okay? So the inside, it didn't make it softer. The inside, it just helped the inside stay like this. but the outside, the part that became crusty, you know how when you leave Play-Doh out it gets crusty? The crusty part is still crusty. Like it didn't soften it at all. Okay? The inside is very soft and nice, and smooth almost, and smoother almost than it was before. But the parts that were already crusty are still actually really hard. Okay? Whereas the other samples, at least the outside crust started to soften a little bit and mix in a bit with my with the inside of the Play-Doh. Okay, so we've been off for a little while yet. Let's review, let's talk about stuff, and let's get some suggestions for what y'all want to see from me in the new year. Okay, so I'm Miss Steph. Hi, for those of y'all who didn't know. Okay, today I decided, just because I like to do different things. Great question. So this is, see, I have like great questions over here on Instagram. You're perfect. You're asking me in the perfect time, because that's what I'm about to tell you now. Okay, so I decided I was going to leave Play-Doh out for over 24 hours. Okay, so I left it around 10 o'clock yesterday morning. Okay, because I thought to myself, wouldn't that be a fun activity for Saturday Science with Miss Steph? Miss Steph, yeah, that's me, guys, gals, persons. Okay, and I picked 3 different things I wanted to mix it with. Okay, I thought to myself, well, maybe we could just use regular water, which is this one. Okay, maybe we could use shaving cream, because some shaving cream, as peculiar as a substance as it is, like has a lot of different components that might be able to help the Play-Doh kind of come back to life, like come back to what it was. And I thought to myself, what about baby oil? Because we put baby oil like on our skin and those types of things to make it soften up. Maybe it would work for the Play-Doh. Okay, so this activity is just something I made up yesterday. Okay, I'm calling it the case of the dried out Play-Doh. Okay, so let's look at, so that was a quick little review of what I did and kind of just my thinking behind it, because as a scientist, it's my job and honor and privilege to kind of just come up with stuff, like think of a problem and try to find a solution, right? That's what we do. Okay, and there's no particular reason why I use pink Play-Doh. That's just the Play-Doh I have. Okay, because I have Play-Doh and different science supplies here up in my apartment. Okay, so yeah, so this is the water one. Okay, this and each of the substances I only added a little bit of each. Okay, so this was water, this was shaving cream, this was the baby oil. Then I let it sit, and then I kind of squished it. So this one, let's find out if maybe letting it sit, because that's another thing. Okay, with science, sometimes if you add time, that helps it, right? Like when we did the elephant toothpaste, at first it just kind of starts a little bit, and then all of a sudden it becomes this whole other situation that you can just let sit for a little bit, for a while, right? So let's find out. I'm gonna and I'm using my eyes to observe, and I'm also using my hands to observe. So let's squish a bit. This is, it's better, but it still has like lumps in it. So let me kind of, and I'm going to show it to you. Oh, okay, so somebody did it. So you can see it like up close, the activity. It's sure, yeah. Yeah. So my awesome person over here on Instagram is telling me how after I did the live presentation to the big group, somebody was it like in y'all's classroom? Somebody did it for y'all? Is that what happened? Yeah, they tried the elephant toothpaste and they got everywhere. It can be messy. That one can be messy. But honestly, messy sometimes is like the fun part of science. As long as it's messy in a way that's not hurting anybody. But yeah, okay. So y'all see how the lumps The lumps you see that are there are parts of the crust, right? That got all mixed in. Okay? So my question to you, do you think this is revived? This sample, the one that I added the water to? Do you think it's revived? Do you think it's like usable? Do you think it's exactly like it was before? You know? Putting this back. Okay? Now, the shaving cream one. Let's fiddle with it. Honestly, so the shaving cream one is harder. It's like it's harder to manipulate than the water one. Okay? You see how I'm like holding, like being really firm with it? And from far away, right? From far away it looks like it's kind of okay. But up close you can see, again, it's got the lumps in it too. My ring light is kind of, sorry, let me do like this. Right? So up close, you can see like there's little bumps. Okay? Aha! Okay, so I have an analysis over here on Instagram, which I love. I love it when folks get analytical with it, right? So this person is letting me know that they think, right? You think the water is the thing that did the best. Ooh, I've got another question over here that's asking me, I wonder how we could test if it's back to normal Play-Doh, right? So we would need a set of standards and a set of expectations. This is the one that had the oil in it. This is the oil, y'all. So you notice the one with the oil kind of almost looks like it's got a darker color. That's just because of how oil reacts to light, and it kind of heightens the pigment a little bit. Okay? So it's not mixing with the pigment, but because of the shine that the oil is bringing, it's making it look darker. Okay? So, time for testing. Love that question, BioBus. Time for testing, people. All right, so I say we compare. Everybody say compare. I say compare. Ooh. Compare to an original. Compare to Play-Doh that is fresh, brand new. So first of all, let's take a piece to make it small, like the size of my samples, right? So look at this. Look at this pull. Y'all see that? Y'all see that pull that I'm getting? Right? Look at kind of the coloring. Okay? So this is the Play-Doh that's straight up out of, now I can wave at you. Straight up out of, did I wave at you? Sorry, there we go. Hey. Straight up out of the container. Very, very soft and stretchy. You see how there's no, the bumps I put in, the bumps are not from like dried up Play-Doh. Okay? So let's put that, let me roll it. I'm also rolling it, and it's a very smooth thing to touch, to the touch. Okay? And I can easily make it go into a shape of my choice, which is what we want to happen with Play-Doh. Right? Now let's grab the water sample. Okay? So let's do a pool like I did the other one, right? Let's do the same thing that I did with the fresh Play-Doh. Okay, so first of all, you see how it's not able to pull. Okay? However, I can't get it to roll. I have to really kind of press on it to keep it together, because that's another issue with dried out Play-Doh, is that it now, like, it doesn't stay together as well as regular Play-Doh does. Okay? Nice fresh Play-Doh. And you see how the ball is not as smooth. I can form a ball, but it is nowhere as smooth. Right? Oh, yes, BioBus, you're fabulous. I'm calling you by your handle, even though I know you are. Thank you so much for joining me on this fabulous Saturday. we have any questions over here on Facebook? Questions on Facebook. Let me know, y'all. So now, again, same thing. Oh, I didn't do the pool. So this is my shaving cream. Y'all saw that? This is very, it broke easily. It broke off almost like when you pull slime. You know how when you pull slime, you get that like, kind of crease? Yeah, I know. Hi, Ashley. Yeah? So see, it's just, nah. Eh. One thing I will tell you though, if you have old Play-Doh that's been in the container for a long time, but still in the container and it has been essentially sealed, I'll tell you a secret, the shaving cream does help. Okay? Which is why I even tried shaving cream in the first place, because I know that it helps with like just older Play-Doh. So say this Play-Doh was like 6 months old and I wanted to use it during science club. Well, I mean, we wouldn't now because of COVID. But back in the day, you know, so long ago. If I wanted to use it with like, you know, the kids again, I just throw a little shaving cream in it. My assistant or assistants, all of my like grown-up students know that one of my Miss Stephanie tricks is that squirt a little shaving cream in it, let the kids play with it, and it reignites it a bit. So see, this is my oil sample. This is a sample of the Play-Doh that had been left out and that I had squished together after a little while and put oil. So we see how it just doesn't. Man, the case of the dried out Play-Doh. Once it's dry, you can't go back. Now, I have done like soap, a little bit of dish soap and some water, and you know, kind of like really play with it, and that will bring it back enough like the water sample to play with it. But will it be as enjoyable and soft and fabulous as Play-Doh that's fresh out of the canister and well kept? I think we have found out that it will not be. So, people, we're essentially done for today. I feel like we had a good time. We had like a lot of folks over here on Instagram. Thank you, all of you, like for real. Please feel free, Instagram, Facebook, everybody, and of course YouTube when y'all get ready to rewatch this. Folks who like to watch on Sunday. Um, Definitely make sure that you feel free to ask for experiments and give me ideas. So the shaving cream, make it soft. The shaving cream, here's the shaving cream, hon. The shaving cream, and I know it's kind of hard to see. This is the Biobus. Thank you for coming. The shaving cream sample actually is like this. You see how it breaks apart? So it looks like it's soft, but it's not actually soft. I love your question. Thank you for asking the question. Okay. Yeah, so feel free to ask questions. For those of you who are kind of new to my channels and all that kind of whatnot, that joined me, came over from the Brooklyn Nets event, feel free to ask, like I said, and ask questions and also make suggestions or requests for activities. Because if I have the materials, I will totally do the activity. Okay. So yeah, couple of housekeeping folks. This is the last Saturday Science of 2020. This is also episode 51 of Science with Miss Steph. Um, I've been doing this since March, since we had to pivot in March. You can contact me through all this stuff. Please, thank you for coming. Okay, is that Miss Hazel? Hey. Um, Thank you so much for coming. So yeah, you can contact me online, www.tfempowerment.org. You can send me a message on Facebook. You can send me a message on Instagram. And of course, you can definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel and get of the videos that I do on Saturdays, but kind of in a more compressed and cutesy little edited version and all that type of stuff. If you like all those bells and whistles. If you like the live stuff, hey, join me live anytime I'm on live. Um, we are doing. You're awesome. Thank you so much. We are doing year end breaking barriers campaign, folks. Breaking barriers. I cannot describe to you the different challenges we have experienced this year, but how we are still helping young people break barriers. And so, if you're interested in supporting what we are doing, you can do that online as well at the website. And yes, I'm going to say it one more time: www.tfempowerment.org. Okay. And yeah, Facebook, I'm going to be doing fundraisers that you can directly give, so that you can directly give on Facebook over the um, next few days. All right. So that really is it. I love that y'all hung out with me. Please, please, please feel free to make requests, folks. And please, please, please be kind to each other as we come into the end of this very intriguing year. It's been interesting, but hey, we're here. Okay? All right, Facebook. Here we go.